This is it. Guest has his phone down. We are rolling.
We're doing it. I like to leave it on just in case, it's fun to take calls during the podcast. If someone calls up, I'll put them on speakerphone. We can take calls.
This is No Laugh Track Podcast. I'm Justin Severson. That's Jake Johannsen. That's Jake Johannsen's phone.
This is my phone. I have my phone here. I voted.
This is episode 374. That is not a sticker from this year.
It is.
Let me see. It looks way too faded.
Well, it's been on the phone. I put it in my pocket. I take it in and out of my pocket.
It faded that much in a week?
Our primary, I think, was
that's
maybe
right.
2 weeks ago.
We didn't do primary vote in Minnesota. Never mind.
We could vote early, too. So that was the thing. That's maybe 2 weeks of wear and tear. Pocket work.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
That'll tear you up. Thank God you and I don't have to get in and out of a pocket 10 times a day. Because that'll age you.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
Here we are, Jake. We're back again.
I know.
It's another
exciting.
It's March again, which means it's a week of Jake Johannsen at Acme.
Not quite a week. It's just 4 days.
You know what? But we'll just call it the whole
I'm
week.
going to be here for 4 days. Somebody else, the people who come to the show, they're just here for a couple of hours, and then it's over.
True.
It's sad for me and for them.
Yeah.
I hope it's sad for them. I hope it's happy. I don't know. I think I said that wrong. Can we cut this out? I feel like when people come to the show, that's 2 hours of their lives that hopefully is as good as most of the other 2 hour period. It's going to be a better 2 hours than the rest of their year, except for the time when they're having sex, if it's good sex, because I've heard there's bad sex. I've never experienced that, but I've heard there's bad sex, and so my show is better than bad sex, but not as good sex. That's what I hope people are saying about it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, the last time you were here.
Yes.
And I don't know if you're still doing this, but there was you had some merchandise. I left with 2 T-shirts.
Yes, I do. I've got T-shirts. I've got a Sex Robot T-shirt available after the show, and I think it's appropriate attire anywhere. But my suggested place that you wear it is a parent-teacher conference because it says Sex Robot, right? And when you're at a lot of times these classrooms are really crowded, and it's hard for your kid to get attention, and it's hard for the teachers to learn the kids' names. But when you show up as a parent in the Sex Robot T-shirt, you can be pretty sure that teacher is going to remember which one is your kid and feel like maybe they need some extra special attention.
I like that.
Because their parents are freaky. Maybe, or something. I don't want to judge people. Anyway,
Fun.
Sex Robot. It's a great T-shirt for a parent-teacher conference. Great T-shirt for church picnic. And it's
a summertime church picnic.
And it's pro-human. It's pro-human because you're a human. You're wearing the Sex Robot T-shirt, and this is what I say: let's not let the robots steal our best job. Not that I think of sex as a job, but that's I'm known for joking.
Yeah. You're not clocking in and out before each sex session, are you? Is there a time clock somewhere?
No. I leave it always running just in case I have to punch in.
Like it's like a taxi driver. Hey, meter's running. It's up to you whether you're going to take advantage of this.
You tell me if we're going anywhere. I don't care. I'm getting paid either way.
Well, here's a funny thing. I remember this, and I listened back to your the last time you were here doing this podcast.
Really, these are available on the. Now, this is always funny to me. My watch just alerted me that I just completed my move goal, and I've been sitting down for 5 minutes. So, this watch, I'm not sure that it's hooked up to my heart, and according to my heart, I'm excited right now.
I mean,
this show is as good as a workout. If you're a guest, I don't know what it's like if you're a listener.
From the waist up, you've been moving quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I like to keep my hands busy.
So.
Idle
what
hands.
If you were wearing a monitor somewhere below the waist?
We'd have to Google if you can wear it on your penis, but I think I'd have to get a smaller band.
Hey yo! You told me to set you up for that. It didn't go as well as I thought it would.
Oh, boy, yeah.
You know what that reminds me of, Jake? Is last year. I listened back. One of the other things you mentioned. There are 2 things.
You didn't mention the first thing.
I know.
Did you?
Let me finish that one.
Okay.
We were talking about the T-shirts, and there was
Yes.
there's the one that I really loved. It's a light blue one.
You can't win them all. Yes,
love
I
that
still
shirt.
have a limited amount of those available.
Okay.
This, I think, may be the end of the You Can't Win Them All T-shirts. If you'd like one, you need to come down to this week.
It is a light blue that reminds me of like the powder blue. Reminds me of the Minnesota Twins jerseys from the mid '80s.
Well,
gorgeous powder blue, baby blue. It's just gorgeous.
And it's springtime. So, what's baby blue in the springtime? Robin's eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Let's eat a nice bird
So
egg.
one of the things you said to me before I purchased a sex robot T-shirt from you is that this could lead to some sex.
It's almost guaranteed to lead to sex if you're a female and you're wearing the sex robot T-shirt. It's a conversation starter. It's an opener. If you're a man, it's a little trickier. How'd it work out for you?
I was. It's only been 1 for 1. I'll just say that. Batting 1,000.
So you wore it 2 times.
She,
or 1 time.
my wife. I bought it for her. It's her size. She wore it,
All right. Yeah. So it worked.
and it led to happy fun time.
It's a good signal. I feel like that's a good signal. A lot of times now, there's a lot of conversation that we're having around consent, and rightly so.
Yeah.
You want to know when you've got the green light to go. You don't want to wind up in a hashtag it's your turn to testify situation. So I feel like a sex robot T-shirt or a yes I'm DTF T-shirt. These are good. These are good things for modern times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe a button or an app on your phone.
A button.
I think we already have an app on the phone for sex, right?
I think there are
Several.
infinite amounts.
Several, yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as I know.
You can always use another one.
So here we are. You've done one show this week at Acme so far.
It seems like you were not sure, but you are sure. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
It's Thursday of the week, and the week here at Acme Comedy Company is Wednesday through Saturday.
A lot of times it's Tuesday. You weren't here on Tuesday.
No, and that's sad for me. I was here. I flew in on Tuesday because, yes. So I've done one show, and I've got one tonight, which is Thursday. If you're listening to this on the day when we did it, people can't listen right as we're doing it, right?
We got Brandon sitting back there. He's listening.
Yeah,
He's
one
hearing
guy's
every
listening.
word.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's sweet.
And he'll be here for at least one of the shows.
I hope he can make it out to the show. He doesn't pay though, does he? So that doesn't.
They pay
that's-
him, actually.
That's not helpful to me.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is helpful if he laughs, but yes. So we've done one show. We got one tonight. We have 2 Friday, then 2 Saturday, and then I fly home on Sunday. We'll see what that's like
Yeah.
at the airport.
So I want to talk a little bit about, we've done it every time we've been here. We're going to do it again. Your podcast.
My podcast.
What's going on there, Jake?
Jake of Jake Johannsen podcast. Well, I've been a little lackadaisical, and I can say that I do have some fans who do email me that it's been a while since I put out a podcast, but I did just put one out a week ago.
Yeah.
And I probably, if I was doing one every week, one should come out tomorrow. But I don't know if that's going to happen unless I go back to the hotel and do an episode of my podcast right now.
Yeah. So I listened back to I listened to the 3 most recent. That
Yeah,
you've
well,
done.
there was the one
And
from
that
last
span-
week, and then there was one from January, and then the one before that was, I think, October.
So it spans 3 episode spans 4 months.
Yeah, you get a lot of elapsed time. And I mean to do it. Look, I struggle also with a life. I've got and also, I think, is it low self-esteem? I don't know if it's low self-esteem. How can you have low self-esteem? I'm super excited to walk on stage and do a stand-up comedy show. I'm excited to do that. But sometimes I feel like, do I really need to be talking for a half hour on the internet? And I know people want it. Some people, not everyone. It's obvious that everyone doesn't want it.
Right.
But some people do want it, and so I have a hard time convincing myself of that. There's sometimes a week will go by where I mean to go out to my office and talk into the machine, and I just keep thinking, like, really, I can't convince myself that someone wants it. But anyway, I don't know if that's a self-esteem issue or a personal. It's the inner narrative. I got to control my inner narrative.
Yeah.
We all do. We all do.
And to record your podcast, you just need to go from one room of your house to a different room?
Yes, that's right. Well, technically, you could do this podcast anywhere. Oh, now it's.
Are you going to come over to my house?
Now it's in glorious video. No, I'm not. I could barely be bothered to come here to the comedy club, even though I was coming here anyway.
Yeah.
But I have to come here now. Then I have to go back to the hotel, and then I got to come back here tonight. So it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
that I made this effort. And as you can see, I didn't make any effort to prepare my physical appearance. I only found out this morning that this was now going to be videoed, and it's on, what is it on?
YouTube. Acme's YouTube page.
YouTube, and that's on?
Internet.
The internet.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm familiar with it. And you can access that on your phone, right?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
phone,
is great.
If you have one of those home computers, do it there.
I think people are getting away from home computers now. It's really going to be about phones. And I am super excited to finally, high def is something that you worry about as you get a little bit less handsome. As there's a danger that
Sure.
as you get older, you're going to get less handsome. So far, I'm okay. I mean, I started off being sort of goofy looking, and so I feel like I still look okay. But high def is a real problem.
Yeah.
And especially when you don't have any professional. There's no makeup for this. My lips are chapped. It hailed today. I was in a hailstorm.
What?
Yeah. Yes. A little light hail.
Oh,
little light hail.
I must have been sleeping.
And
through
so high def is a real problem. But the fact that most of our entertainment we're going to be receiving on our phones in the future is good news to me.
It's funny you say that. But actually, somehow, pictures when I watch, I have that. Actually, this came up on your podcast, and you sounded so confused about it. YouTube TV. I have YouTube TV. That's the streaming service I use to watch television. If I pull it up on my phone, it seems like the picture is much crisper.
Because that's a higher resolution, but it's smaller.
Yeah.
But it depends on how far you hold it away from your face. When you get your phone like 10 inches away from your face, that's like a giant TV on the other side of the room.
That's
right?
true. That's true. And also, I've turned into that.
Do you use the YouTube TV on your TV?
Yes. Well, I cast it, so it
So you're watching it on your phone, and then you share screen it onto the smart TV.
Yes.
It's not wired to your internet from the TV.
I'm shooting it up. I'm shooting
off
it across
your phone
the room
onto the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow! I was gonna say shit, but I didn't know if I should on the internet.
It's worthy.
People are saying that on the internet though now. The future is so sweet.
Since the last time you were here, I had 2 daughters. Now I have another baby at home, Jake. I have a 6-month-old daughter now.
A man baby? Another lady baby?
Yeah, I have 3 daughters now.
You got 3 daughters and a wife?
Yes. So when you were here last year, I knew that my wife was pregnant and I was not telling anyone. So it was a secret.
That's a shit ton of ladies.
But even the cat's female.
What's
Jake.
the oldest one? What's the oldest daughter?
What is she?
What's the age of the oldest daughter?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Ooh, so you're heading into it.
Oh, we're there.
So she's already probably, that happened, right?
Yeah.
And your wife is still, obviously you just had a kid, so your wife is still she's in business.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could conceivably have 4 ladies ovulating and getting their periods and all that stuff. They sync up, is what I've heard.
Yeah.
That could be happening at your house.
Yeah.
Man, no wonder you got TV on your phone.
I'm gonna pitch a tent in the backyard and start staying
when
there.
you're projecting your phone onto the TV, and this is just I'm out of curiosity, just from the conversation we're just having.
Yeah.
Do you see it on your TV and on the phone?
It will stop the video.
So in other words, you couldn't go out to the car and shoot the TV into the house. They watch TV in the house, and you're watching on your phone in the car.
Yeah, correct.
But
if I was on another, like if I was on my iPad. I could.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be in more than one.
How many locations do you get for a subscription?
I
to
don't
YouTube
know,
TV?
5 or something. They're pretty fair
and
about
you
it.
like it better than cable, huh?
Yeah. Screw those guys.
I'd like to split it up. I don't like them given. They always want to bundle you. I don't want to be bundled. I don't like it. Now they quit. At least the cable company has quit trying to tell me they're going to give me a phone line. That I kept trying to tell them, like, I don't need a phone line. It's TV, internet, and phone. That's all one thing. I kept telling them it's all one thing.
Yeah.
The phone is connected to the internet, the TV, and they're all one thing. You're charging me 2 times for one thing. Now they charge you 2 times, but they usually try and charge you 3 times for one thing. When are they going to get it through their head? It's one effing thing.
Yeah. I have something. So we have this YouTube TV, and I'm trying to explain that to. So now the reason I even brought up the baby is because now I have to. My mom or my mother-in-law come over to watch the baby during the week.
Right, they can't understand it. Yeah,
And so now I have to explain. I've had to explain how to use that whole system to people, and it's way over their heads.
We've got a rental property, and so that is still hooked up to cable because of the people. It's people come for a month or 2 months or 6 months, and so some of those people are older people.
Yeah.
And I can't be bothered to try and explain that we've got YouTube TV on the internet. So we've got a regular cable with HBO hooked up on their TV, and then my TV is not hooked up to that. I just sign in on the internet subscription of the regular cable channel to watch on my TV. So good luck.
What a mess.
It's a complete mess. I'm cutting the cable and still connected to the cable at the same time. There's a lot of explaining.
Ridiculous.
There's a lot of explaining.
So I can't believe I have another thing to add to this. So my mom came over this morning.
Is this good? Does anyone listen? What? I just realized, we're on the internet right now.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm really sorry, internet.
For sure.
But let's get back to it.
I just found out this. My mom came over to watch the baby this morning. I found out. She said that. I'll say this real quickly. My grandparents are in a nursing home. She just went to visit them. My grandfather said, "I'm getting rid of this. We just switched rooms. I'm canceling the phone. We don't need a phone. The only like you were saying. I'm about leaving your phone on." He's like, the only phone calls that come in are people trying to sell me stuff or scam me.
So he's going to get rid of his cell phone.
No. The home phone in the nursing home room.
Oh.
They don't have a cell phone.
My parents just did that. They just moved into assisted living. Technically, I think that's not
Very
quite
close,
a nursing home,
yeah.
but it's almost a nursing home.
Well,
and when they moved in, they were just like, we're only cell phones now.
Well, can I give you some advice on what I just found out this morning?
Okay.
Someone in my parents or whatever called to cancel this service for my grandparents. And, because he said, I'm paying $100 a month for this. This is ridiculous. And my mom's going, $100 for a phone line? What's going on? I'm going to call them and cancel this and find out what's going on.
In the nursing home.
Turns out they've been getting charged for internet for months. My grandparents don't know anything about internet. So they've been getting charged an extra $40 a month to have internet access that they've never used. Yeah. So look into that. Here's some advice. Anybody's got grandparents or parents, double check on their bill.
Use the internet but are being charged for the internet? My parents still they use the internet.
Double check on that bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents do. My grandparents, they died before the internet. So I'm clean on that.
They never Twitter never ruined their day? Is that what you're saying?
No. You got to watch out for Twitter. At first when they started Twitter, it was like, why do we have Facebook? Why do we need Twitter? But then it's like Twitter is shorter. It's not as it's less, you can do less things. But it turns out you want people to be able to do less things. But now you can do video on Twitter and all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. But Twitter is for people to argue with each other. That's what Twitter's for. And Facebook, I don't know what Facebook's for because I only post shows and I don't think Facebook allows people to even see it because they want me to buy ads on Facebook. But Facebook is a thing that a lot of people are on that I also think there's a lot of arguments. I like Instagram because it's only... At least for me personally, it's only things that I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm interested in jiu-jitsu. I follow a lot of jiu-jitsu stuff. And so I just watch guys trying to choke each other and break each other's arms all the time. And then sometimes there's a comedian friend of mine with his gig. Comedians now are posting their shows with little subtitles of the bits that are on because people can't be bothered to... It's not enough that you took your comedy and you cut it into little bite-sized snippets and posted it on Instagram.
Right.
They're like, no, could you please also subtitle it because I want to watch it without listening to you do the material. What the hell? Eventually, am I just going to have to call people and whisper my jokes into the phone? Like right as they're about to go to bed. Hey, it's Jake. I know you're tired.
Before we started recording today, you said something about having a flash drive?
Yes, I have a flash drive.
You just send out flash drives to fans.
No, yeah, that's the future. I've still got CDs and DVDs that I'm trying to get rid of. But the next step is you just put it all on a flash drive and you sell people the flash drive. But it's just a matter of time before they change the thing that the thing plugs into. It's like, oh, I don't have that hole in my machine anymore to plug the thing in you just gave me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know how we're going to save the planet. Well, everybody thinks everything's going to last forever because we saved it on the internet, but the internet is just like a big junk pile. It's like if you just throw everything in your backyard. Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah.
But good luck finding it.
You know what concerns me these days is how a little bit how much you're being tracked by everything. I don't know. There must have been some change. You know, every website don't you go to, and then it's like, I agree. You have to agree to their cookies and that they're following you, and then you go to another site and everything you just looked at is on there. I just read an article about how Facebook, that you can, if you really do a lot of clicking and go into all these settings, you can see all of the information they've gathered about you based on other websites.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either, but the fact is you don't like it because you're just now becoming aware that they're doing it. But they've been doing it for this whole time. It's just an illusion. Everybody knows we're here. Look, yes, of course. You want to know more about me? I'm on this podcast. I'm doing my own podcast. Maybe I should do my podcast more often. So you don't have to track me. I'll just tell you every week. I'll just tell you a half hour. I'll run through all the places I went, all the things I bought. I'm not going to tell you all of the porn that I've watched, but I've watched some porn.
We know.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I know. Have you gotten the email from the guy? You know, it used to be like, hey, I'm a prince from Nigeria, and I've got this money, but I can't get it out of my bank account. So if you give me your bank account, I'll give you 10% of it if you just let me bounce it in there for a half hour.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that was the email that I got for a while, and I knew that guy was scamming me. Now every once in a while I get the email that like, hey, we know that you were on this porn site, and we shot some video of you on the camera. So we have video of what you were watching and video of you doing what you were doing while you were watching it. And we're going to send that to all your contacts. So shoot us an email, and then let's figure Bitcoin out, because it's time for you to Bitcoin us.
Right.
And
how much have you sent?
I haven't sent any. And so far, so good. I mean, I don't even know, like, how does that benefit you, scammer guy, that you just sent a video of me watching porn and masturbating? I'm pretty careful with my porn. I mean, not careful with my porn, but I'm watching pretty generic porn. My philosophy with porn, I know that you were going to ask this eventually. My philosophy with porn.
Are you reading my paper here?
Yeah, is to watch porn that I realistically, things that I have a realistic chance of achieving in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not watching any 3-person things. I'm not watching any kind of weird domination, whips and balls. As soon as somebody starts getting choked, I'm out.
Sure.
You know, it's just pretty much a man and a lady finishing up with business. That's what I'm watching.
Showing each other they're in love.
And so, right. And so the idea that, okay, here's a video of this man of a certain age who's taking care of business on the road, and this is what he's watching. It's like, okay, yes, embarrassing, obviously embarrassing, but who are we kidding? And who's going to watch the whole thing? Who, like my mom's going to go, oh my God, I wonder how this ends. I mean, she's going to stop as soon as she figures out what the hell's going on.
I've never seen him make that face.
Yeah. It's like, look, I'm worried. I'm not daring someone to release it, but I am saying, like, look, I sort of don't get, like, is any person now surprised? Like, you're surprised they're tracking you on your phone, but would you be surprised if you got a video of your neighbor masturbating, watching some freaky porn? It's like, this is not a secret. This is just, I haven't seen this guy do this before, but I assume he's over there doing it, and I don't really. As soon as I figure out what it is, it's like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not going to watch to completion the guy who I've been staring out my window. Like, why does he mow the yard at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? And now I'm going to watch him spank one out on a, no.
So I used to have this is years ago, 10, 15 years ago. I had a neighbor. Back of my house, all the windows faced the back of his house.
Mm-hmm.
And occasionally he would watch porn with the curtains wide open on his giant TV at night.
So you're looking over his shoulder at the TV?
I could see him standing watching porn in his living room from my kitchen. Yeah.
Who stands up to watch porn?
I mean, he kind of would walk around and sit. I didn't sit there and I would walk and look, and I'd see it like, oh God, no. What is it? No. This is so crazy. Then so it happened more than once, where it was like, look, he's over there. It's just no shame whatsoever. Wow. And then it stopped, and we found out it's because he moved out because living in the house. They were a married couple, but when he was downstairs watching porn, they were separated, and he just hadn't moved out yet.
Oh.
So he was living with his wife. They were separated, and he's watching porn with the windows open downstairs in the same house.
Yeah.
Showing it to me and
my
then wife.
He had bigger problems than you watching him. His marriage is falling apart, and he's just trying to de-stress himself enough to go upstairs and get some Cheerios. Right? And so he doesn't have to feel that sexual tension with his future ex-wife. And yeah.
If I don't get this out, I'm going to rip her
guy.
fucking head off.
I'm gonna just start yelling at her. This way he goes up to get the Cheerios. He can kind of he's in a fairly decent, relaxed state of mind. Yeah. You misjudged him.
You're right. You're right. Mm-hmm.
What's he doing now?
I have no idea. I too separated from the person I was with at that time. So we both.
Oh, my coffee cup has got a big chip out of it.
We both have marriages that ended, and we went our separate ways. So I don't know where he lives, and he doesn't know
sad.
where I live.
Man, do you think it was something in the water? Were you living near some chemical spill?
It's, yeah, actually.
Yeah?
You're joking? That house is in Woodbury, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and do a search later on. People can search 3M and Oakdale and Woodbury and water. And they can see all these stories about chemicals that leached from 3M products that is in the water in that area. So actually...
And it's a marriage killer.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I blame.
Whatever's in that... so it's a great place to move if you're having trouble, getting out of a relationship. You move to that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you left that marriage and went on to become happily married and now have 3 daughters.
Look at that.
So good for you.
Yeah.
Did you have any kids with your...
Yeah, the first 2.
Oh, the first 2 are from the first wife.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
And you got all... She must be a terrible person.
Which one?
She doesn't have custody of the 2 kids?
No, we share.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're in a house with 4 ladies and sometimes you're just in a house with 2 ladies.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's half-time for full-time too.
And technically the ladies are 2 separate genetic pools.
That too.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it comes down to a you or them thing, you've got a chance of dividing them. Right?
I guess so.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
I just like to think it through.
Uh-huh.
These are troubled times.
Yeah.
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 All right.
They're on spring break this week. I could have brought them into the podcast.
Our spring break for our daughter's school is not till the week. They've got one more week next week. But we just got the news yesterday that they're doing remote school next week because of the thing.
Is there a thing?
Yeah. Yeah. The remote school. This internet is really going to take off thanks to the thing. It's going to be a lot more internet, a lot less FaceTime.
Yeah, so last night I was home with the 2 females, not all 4, 2, my wife and my 6-month-old.
Your current sexual partner.
Correct.
And the fruits of your love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And we're trying to watch The Masked Singer, like most, all American.
As you do. Babies love that.
Oh, God. Yes.
Yeah.
And we're watching The Masked Singer, and then my phone is nonstop giving me updates on everything that...
Alerts.
Yeah.
Look.
Here's what it reminded me of. Let me just say this. So, was it 2...
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Don't you dare.
I've done a way too much
No, this is going to set you up to talk a whole lot more. So... Remember a few years ago when it was every time you picked up your phone, it was a new person getting outed for their Me Too whatever they did, right? It was
yes.
It seemed like every 15 minutes it was a new holy shit, this guy did this and this guy did this and this show's been canceled and this. And now...
Right, and I'm supposed to feel creepy because I masturbated watching some pretty generic heterosexual porn in a hotel room thousands of miles away from my wife? Come on. Look what these other jerks are doing.
That's right.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was so proud of myself for my porn work.
I'm a good boy.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what. So that was the feeling I've been having in the last 48 hours, where everything was popping up. A few years ago, where it was Me Too, Me Too, Me Too, and now it's coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's wild. There's a new update about things every couple seconds, it seems.
It's hard to really know if I don't understand. I mean, how long is it going to last? How freaked out should I be? I'm doing comedy shows. I want people to come to the comedy. We're not going to touch each other. They have soap. Let's wash our hands. Let's wash our hands. Keep our hands to ourselves.
It's easy.
And have a nice night.
Yeah.
Right? Alcohol kills the coronavirus when it's outside the body. Inside the body, it doesn't. But
Are
when
we sure?
It's good if you drink, get a martini and spill a little bit on your hands. Rub it in.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alcohol fully stocked here at Acme this week, right, Brandon? Like
Yeah.
enough for everybody. And then some. Yep.
Enough for everybody.
Yep. Fully
Yeah.
stocked.
We can go completely nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great.
So last week, Chad Daniels was here.
Yep.
And we did a podcast.
Yep.
And it was last Thursday, and news had just broken that morning, and I brought it up on the podcast, that the Minnesota Twins, are down in Florida doing their spring training, getting ready for the season. And they had just announced, because of the virus going around, that they were going to stop autographs. Players were not going to have face-to-face contact with the fans anymore. No more autographs. They were going to, and now they've implemented that, and they're having players sign sheets of paper early in the morning, and then they have representatives from the team hand them out to fans or whatever. But that was the extent of, like, that was probably
That's
like
last week. That's last week. I hear they're actually considering, the players are considering stopping having sex with fans altogether. And that is a drastic move. I mean, some of these guys, they're young, right? They're athletes in the prime of their lives. Their libidos, I mean, you can only imagine. But they're thinking about giving that up.
Bull Durham will be entirely different if they redid that movie now.
Yeah. No. Yes, it would.
Yes.
Yes, it would.
So are you familiar with comedian Ian Abramson?
No.
No. Well,
I know Ian Bagg.
but puts an
He's
end
a
to
comedian.
this.
What do I need to know Ian Abramson for this to work?
I mean, no.
What has he done?
He does, well, first of all, he does comedy, and it's very funny. He has
Okay.
been on this podcast. He's
Terrific.
performed at Acme.
I'll have to look him up.
He's good. He does a thing called 7 Minutes in Purgatory, where
Is this like one of those high school things where you have to go in a closet with a girl and?
yeah, I'd
This
never
is-
heard of it.
This sounds like
I wasn't invited to
This
parties.
sounds like a Me Too parlor game.
Should I not be promoting this?
I don't think so, but maybe I'm not. Maybe I don't understand it.
So he does a thing. To be honest, I don't know if he still does it, but it's 6-7 years ago. He's definitely still doing it. It's a thing where a comedian, he calls Jake Johannsen, "Hey, want to be part of my 7 Minutes in Purgatory show?"
Yeah.
You agree, and you show up. They have a crowd. It's at, let's say, a comedy club. You come out to do your show.
Yeah.
The audience isn't here. They're in another room listening to your set. You're performing to an empty room. So the idea is, what's it like doing your comedy to no audience?
Where you can't hear their response.
Correct.
Well, that's what it's going to be like. That's what we're heading to. That's when I can figure out how to. Luckily, I already have a phone.
Yeah.
When I can figure out how to do my comedy show into the phone and have that be a satisfying back and forth between me and the audience, like I can hear them laugh or, receive some kind of cover charge. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure that out. I mean, I love coming here. Like I said before the show started, if we have to ride the whole thing out, this is the perfect place. That's why I would say, if you're listening to this trying to decide, should I go out and see the Jake show this weekend at Acme? Acme is the perfect place to survive or ride out any apocalypse, I think. And I don't know that they don't advertise it that way. That's just something.
Well, let's just say this: not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But this is a great place. The first, they got alcohol. Second, they got food. The third of all, it's in a basement.
Heat's on.
The heat's on. Yeah. Well, when you get enough people in here, the heat. Of course, we're not. It's going to be tough for us to all be 3 to 6 feet away from each other, and I think we're going to probably break some of those rules. I think. Anyway.
Yeah, we can social distance.
We'll see. We'll have to work it out.
Yeah.
We'll have to work out the details. But anyway, this is a perfect place to come if in a pre or post-apocalyptic world. I think
Crowd work is more difficult when they're not right in front of you.
Oh yeah, well in the purgatory thing when we're on the phone. Well, although I think there's some group chat stuff. I know that YouTube has a thing where you can do a show and people can contribute to you as you're doing the show, or they can respond to you.
Oh,
Periscope.
sure.
Periscope
Sure.
has that people can watch you and type in things. But yeah, you would like to be able to hear them. That's the real That's the real problem.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to the bottom of that. Some of our great internet, there's some spooky loner working on it right now in his basement in between porn sessions.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So since we are talking about this right now, I was with
Wait, what are we talking about?
comedy.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I was with some guys the other day, and one of them's like, "Hey, my sister just sent me this. It's a picture from Target in Rogers, Minnesota, and it was the shot of the toilet paper aisle, and everything's missing." And I said, "That's bullshit. That's fake news. I don't believe that."
No,
that's real.
they're out of toilet paper everywhere.
Yeah, I went to my local Target 5 hours later, and I wasn't going for toilet paper, but I walked past that aisle and glanced down, and there were, 5 packages left.
Look, I get that you don't want to run out of toilet paper. That's one of my things that I'm trying not to do all the time. I always buy the giant. I go to Costco for my toilet paper, and I get the biggest, that big giant brick. And sometimes I'll get 2 if it's like I've got a bunch of road gigs, and my wife is the complete. She would run out of toilet paper, but I like to just be able to go and get from the supply. So I get that you don't want to run out of toilet paper, but when faced with a potential sort of a blizzard, we're going to be at home for a while situation, my first thought is I need food, not, I'm going to be doing a lot of pooping. I better be ready for the pooping. I mean, because, look, if you run out of toilet paper, you can still wash your butt.
That's correct.
I mean, I hate to break it down and make it a little too graphic for people, but if you've come this far in the podcast, I think washing your butt is the least of your problems. So you can wash your butt. If you're out of toilet paper, you just jump in the shower and wash your butt. What are you in a hurry? Yeah, it's going to take a little extra time. You're at home all day. You can't go outside. You're afraid. Yeah. You're afraid of getting the virus. Take a minute and enjoy a nice warm butt wash. Toilet paper isn't your big problem. You should be getting rice and beans. That's what you should be getting. And you don't need hand sanitizer. You need soap. That's what I've read, is that soap is better for combating the virus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I just touched my face. I know you're not supposed to touch your face, but I did wash my hands right before this. I've only touched myself.
How dirty is your face, though? Before you. Oh.
How dirty is it?
I don't know where your face has been.
I washed my face. We're not making out. It's me having a relationship with my face.
Jake, we end the podcast differently now that we have video.
It's terrible. Now, this is something that I could be blackmailed with.
Yeah, turn me down. Mm-hmm. Who's woke now?
Yeah, it's homophobic for me not to make out with you. I get it.
Yeah. You have no choice. Oh, I don't know what the world's coming to, Jake. I'm gonna go over my notes here.
Okay, well, you just check your notes.
Okay. Hey,
yeah.
You joked earlier about we get older and our appearance changes. Maybe get better looking, maybe get worse looking.
Yeah.
So I did a fun thing. I searched your. You're thinking, where the hell is this going? I searched your name.
That's what I'm always thinking.
Yeah. I searched your name on eBay.
Oh, really?
Have you done that?
No, I haven't. What can you buy?
Old 8x10. Your promotion. What do you call those? Your
headshots.
Headshots. Yes.
Really?
Your headshots from the 90s.
What are they going for?
I mean, a couple grand? No. I don't know. There's like $20 or best offer. Should we buy one?
No, we shouldn't. We should sell them. I've still got some of them. I did throw away a bunch of them very recently. I went through the old headshots and I was like, I'll save a couple of them and I'll do a digital copy and put it on the website as a kick.
Yeah.
Because I've had many different haircuts.
Yeah.
It's like I haven't had dozens of movie roles, but from the pictures of me, it looks like it always look. When you watch somebody on Letterman, and you're like, why does he look that way?
Yeah, where's his beard? I know him
because he's in a movie. Yeah. So I've got a ton of different ways that I look. It's like I'm now when time travel becomes real, you'll be able to go back in time and cast me. Like I want the bearded Jake, and I'll go, oh, you mean this guy?
Yeah, long.
That's 1993.
Yeah. I want the long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are at least, I don't know, I think 5 or 6 different pictures of you.
Well, that's nice. I mean, just because it's on eBay doesn't mean someone's going to be able to sell it. But God bless them. God bless them for trying.
Right?
I wonder how many of those are my mom. Yeah.
Do you know her username?
No, no, I don't. I'm sure she's forgotten her username and her password.
Yeah.
My
I know
wife-
one of them was from the show that you hold 2 drink minimum, right?
Okay.
Yeah. There's a couple from that I remember.
Yeah.
How long did that show go?
I just hosted for one season, and they shot 26 episodes in like 10 days.
That you hosted.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I hosted for a year's worth of shows, but the amount of time that I was actually working, shooting the show was less than 2 weeks. And there was probably a month of time that I spent writing the little monologues and stuff with a friend before then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Would you want a job like that again? Sounds great.
Yeah, sure, I would. Yeah, absolutely. It's not for lack of, yes, I've said I would do a job like that again in a second.
Yeah.
I would like it. What you want now, let me explain show business to you. You want to get famous so that then you can sell tickets. Get famous, sell tickets. That's how show business has worked since I started. And it used to be you would get famous by being on The Tonight Show or Letterman, which I did a bunch of those, or have a special on HBO, nowadays Netflix. But now you can also get famous because you're on YouTube or whatever. But one of the time-tested ways of getting famous is hosting some show with a bunch of comedians where you're the host. Then you get famous, and then people want to come and see you.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm already slightly famous. I think we mentioned my podcast that, literally hundreds of people listen to.
What's fame really mean? What's it all worth?
It doesn't. No, all we want is the love of some sincere people.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's financially backed up.
Do you get offered gifts from fans? Like on the road? Like, I know Jake
sometimes.
loves... Like, can you give me an example?
Sometimes you don't like to eat anything that's not prepackaged. I shouldn't say you don't. I would say one is suspicious of any kind of like, hey, I made you a cake.
Sure.
Or here's a box of cookies.
Yeah.
I feel like that has to be more than a fan. It has to be sort of a friend fan. But yeah, every once in a while, someone will give me a gift. I have some fan art of me, paintings of me.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Not a ton of it, but some.
What do you do with those? Did you?
There's few enough of them that I save them. A lot of times they're also paintings that are based on a headshot of me. It's not that someone saw me on Letterman and then closed their eyes and did a painting. It's they forgot a headshot and then they made a painting of that. So there's sort of a funny category of like there's a photo and then here's the painting of that photo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have. There's not enough of them that I would start throwing them away. They're all sort of oddly special to me.
That's
I'm still
good.
saving them.
You didn't recycle them with the headshots. That's good.
No, I didn't.
No.
No, I didn't.
By the way, I was picturing like you in like the American Gothic thing, or you in like Mona Lisa style.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. And look, if there's anyone out there that can do a Blade Runner fan art of me or something like that, Big Trouble in Little China, that's another movie that I'd like to be fan arted into. That would be nice. If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah. So where are we? Like in, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you still got CDs and DVDs and stuff. Where are you in recording like your next release for the fans?
I've got I think I mentioned that I have a USB. What do you call it?
Flash drive?
A flash drive. I got a flash drive, and we're going to record some shows this weekend.
Okay.
This may be the last opportunity for any of us to go out of our house, and so I'm going to record some shows. I'm going to put them on the flash drive. And then I'm going to see what happens. Maybe I'm going to subtitle what I'm saying onto the bottom of it, and then I'm going to shoot it out there. Maybe that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Probably what's going to happen, I'm going to record the shows. I'm going to put them on the flash drive. I'm going to take them home. I'm going to put the flash drive in a place where I won't forget where it is, and then I'm going to forget where it is for a while. Then I'm going to see the flash drive, and then I'm going to wonder what's on it. And then I'm going to have to find a machine that still has that hole in it. I'm going to stick it in there. I'm going to go, oh, that's from Acme Comedy Company in 2020. And then I'm going to watch, and I'm going to realize, oh, there's 3 cameras of 5 shows on here. How can I watch all of it? And I go, well, Saturday early show is probably the best show. And so I'm going to watch about 10 minutes of that, and then I'm going to decide what I'm doing now, this isn't the same. I mean, maybe I could, who's got the time? And then I'm just going to put it back in a place where I won't lose it because I want to save it for someday when they open the museum of me in the future. And that's it's not my plan, but that's what I think is going to happen. Or I am going to edit it all together and then put it out. But that's, I'm in homemade world now. I've been in self-produced world for a while. I've self-produced my last 2 specials and my CDs. I did that myself. I know how to do it. Other people just want to, they just want to rip you off. That's what they want.
Who's that guy?
They want to take advantage of you. That's everybody's dad. That guy who doesn't know he's been paying for internet.
Hey, wait a second.
Hey, that's everybody's grandpa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, if things change and we're all in self-quarantine soon, you're gonna need something to keep you busy.
Yeah. I would like it to be a thing where you have to actually contact me and I give you a password and then you can watch it and then you tell me how it was and then I get to post that online and then if you're nice to me, I let you watch it as many times as you want, but otherwise.
And then I get a hold of you and say, I like this so much. Can I send you more money? I really liked this.
I like you. What's it, Patreon, where people subscribe to you?
Yeah.
I'd love to get people subscribing to me.
Uh-huh.
The problem with that is you have to keep doing things. I'm already falling down. The podcast is free. You can watch listen to my podcast for free. You can watch it too, but it's just a picture on an iPhone.
So I think that's the last thing I'm going to bring up here. So those things that they have comedy specials these days, I'm sure you've heard of them, dry bar comedy, right?
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah,
these
dry
clean,
bar.
they go to Utah and film a set, and then
They pay less now than they did a while ago. They're decreasing the pay for that.
Oh. Why is that? Do you have
Because they can.
Because they can?
Because they figured out that comedians are dumb, and they'll just like, okay, it's half what it was before. Are you sure? And they're like, yeah, we're sure. We only pay half now. Okay.
And then they probably back that up with, yeah, but you'll get 3 million views.
Look at this guy. Well, so what? Can you eat 3 million views? No, you can't.
Yeah.
Do those 3 million people, do they leave the house and come to the comedy club and get a ticket? Now this is the flip side of this is how they get you, guy. This is the old grandpa guy. Now it's like, now I'm talking myself out of an opportunity. Why aren't I on Dry Bar? And you know why? I already said shit in this podcast one time. I said that one time. Also, I alluded to the fact that I'm watching porn. They don't want that on Dry Bar.
No.
They do not want that on Dry Bar.
They are not going to let you.
Dry Bar. Infidelity. We talked about your neighbor watching porn, standing up and watching porn. Just the idea that even happened. Forget about my thoughts about it. They don't want that on Dry Bar.
You would show up there with T-shirts that say "sex robot," and they would make you take off the word "sex."
I don't know if
it would just say "robot."
I don't know if I can deal with. Well, let's say I did whatever of my material, and a lot of my material is clean enough that it could be on Dry Bar. Let's say I did that.
Yeah.
And then let's say my whole audience was Dry Bar people. They would be mad at me when they finally got out to see the show, when they finally left their house to go see the show, which they're not going to do.
Right.
Because they only want to watch clean things on the internet, where someone warns them ahead of time. He's going to talk about his neighbor who watched porn. He's not going to say anything or describe it, but he's going to say that. So if you don't want to know that that's a thing that some people do or happen to see, then don't watch. Those are the people who want. Then I'm not sure Dry Bar is for me. I don't think it's for me.
Did you know?
I get it. It's great if you're on Dry Bar and a ton of people are watching your stuff and they want to come out to see your show. I don't know if it's for me. Am I the cranky old guy who won't do the new thing? Maybe I am.
Did you know that when someone does a Dry Bar comedy special, they ask that artist, that talent, they then have to record a little separate video asking for donations? Hey, if you liked my special, go ahead and click one of these buttons on the bottom of the screen.
And then what
Here's
happens?
$1. Here's $5.
Do I get $1?
Here's
or does Dry Bar
$10.
get $1?
I don't know how they split that up. I don't know. But I've brought it up to comedians that have a Dry Bar special and have had to record their asking for money, and no one has told me they've seen any. So I don't know.
Oh, Dry Bar can dry hump my. I don't know.
So anyway, I
think we've killed my chances of ever getting a Dry Bar now. So thank you.
Do you want to rehearse how you would ask for money?
No, this is a trick. You're going to have a money thing underneath this podcast.
That's right.
I'm not trying to help you get money. I need money. I've got a daughter. She's 15. Do you understand? She's going to...
I have 3 daughters.
Yeah, we're not talking about you. We're talking about me. I'm the guest. Yeah, you got problems. Of course you got problems. You got 3 daughters and an ex-wife and a current wife, right?
Yeah.
And who knows where you go from here? More daughters, a son, another ex-wife.
Social distancing.
Yeah, this is trouble. Yes. You're in your own kind of, what do you call it? 5 minutes in purgatory?
Yeah.
Who knows what you've signed up for?
Yeah.
I'm saying I've got a daughter. She's 15 years old. She wants to go to college and have a future and a life. And I got to finance the rocket ship that's going to get her off the launch pad. Plus, my wife and I, who's going to feed us tapioca? I don't know if you've been keeping up with current events, but the stock market's in the toilet right now. Mm-hmm. And everybody's out of toilet paper. Ho-ho! And so I need click me $5, not click you $5.
Fair enough.
Or $1, 75 cents. Look, whatever you got, I'd appreciate it.
Fair enough. This has been good.
This has been good.
Let's do it again in a year in March.
It's always a positive experience to me to come on this show.
Thank you.
I mean, there are parts of it that are sometimes awkward, but I think mostly, look, I walked over here from the hotel. I did it. And I'm going to walk back.
Thank you.